everyone, it's Pam from Stellar Crafts by Pam, and today I have a birthday card for you featuring Fawn's Beep Boop birthday stamp set. For this card, I'm following sketch number 156 from Case's sketch. I also pulled out the remnants left over from my Simon Says Stamp September 2015 card kit. That is where the pattern paper and the cardstock you see in the video came from. After cutting down my cardstock and pattern paper according to the sketch, I start assembling the card onto a Simon Says Stamp top folding A2 card base. You can also see that I already have the robot from the stamp set colored with zig markers and cut out ready for this card. I'm now assembling the sentiment from the stamp set, which is Gear Up for a Happy Birthday, and I'm using Stays On black ink to ink up the stamp and stamp it out on a scrap of blank paper before I stamp it out on a piece of Stampin' Up's Pink Pirouette paper. To add more interest to the card, I have pulled the balloon from the stamp set, and I'm using Stampin' Up's Pink Pirouette and Tempting Turquoise inks to stamp out the balloon on some white cardstock paper. Using my Big Shot and the coordinating dies, I am cutting out the balloons from the cardstock paper. I found that the dies were having a difficult time staying on the magnetic platform where I'd placed them over the balloons, so when I pushed it through my Big Shot, I held down the plates just to make sure that the dies stayed in place while moving. After cutting out the balloons, I was ready to start adhering the pieces to my card base. First, I'm going to start off with the blue paper, which is going to give it a blue matte, and then I'm going to adhere the pattern paper in the center of that so that I get that nice blue matte around the entire pattern paper. Next, I'm going to use some 3D foam tape to adhere my sentiment to my card by giving it some dimension. After adhering the sentiment to the card, I'm now ready to start positioning the robot and his matching cupcake onto the card. That way I can figure out where I would like to place the balloons on the card. There's a string stamp in this stamp set, but I decided that instead of using that, I wanted to add more dimension and make it more realistic by using some silver metallic thread from Stampin' Up as the balloon strings. And I just used Stampin' Up's tear and tape adhesive to attach the strings to the balloons. Now, using some foam squares, I am attaching the robot to my card. I always feel that using some foam tape or foam squares is a great addition to a card to make it look more realistic and fun. I attached the balloons to the card by using Stampin' Up's fine tip glue pen, as well as some foam squares to half of the balloons. That way that they can look a little bit 3D by having some in the background and then some more towards the foreground. Figuring out the placement of the balloons was a little bit tricky, but after playing with them and moving them around, I was able to figure out a layout I was content with. As I adhered the balloons to the card, I pulled the strings from the balloons and towards the robot's hand so that once I had all of my balloons on there, I could twist all the strings together as if they really were one balloon set. After twisting the strings together in front of the robot's hands, I used multi-matte medium to adhere the string in his hand. When I found it wasn't sticking as well as I would have liked, I took the bow die from the stamp set and I cut out a bow from one of the pattern papers in the card kit and used that to attach the strings to the robot's hand. I finished off the balloons by cutting off the excess string. To finish the entire card, I used some clear Wink of Stella to add a little glitz to the balloons, a few of the parts of the robot, as well as the flame on the candle. I also decided that the sentiment needed this finishing touch of glitz as well. And that pretty much finishes up my card. A list of the products used to make this card will be listed in the description box below. Remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more process videos like this, go ahead and subscribe so that you can get notified of new videos as they come out. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.